All right, so I'm going to break down exactly how we generate over $250,000 a month in deals for our clients who using cold email. And I'm going to show you how you can get in on this, this AI and cold email hype train early and make a stupid amount of money. So this is important for three reasons. Number one, there's a lot of BS on the internet, and it makes me laugh when these kids think that they're actually good entrepreneurs or marketers, but they can't show a drop of proof. Number two, because a lot of you watching this might become my clients one day once you hit that 20, 30K month threshold, and you might trust me to scale your business. So the transparency from day one is important. And number three, if you are building your own agency, you need to understand that you're not far away from these kinds of numbers. I got here in just a few months. I've documented the entire thing pretty much since day one, and it's laughably easy nowadays to win. Anyway, 70 grand deal. Here's a 70 grand deal. This was generated within 21 days of campaign launch. It's dated August 4th. Here's a 28K deal that we generated this Monday, this week. I'm recording this on Friday, August 29th. I've posted about this. I showed the live client call of the reaction. 28K deal. Here's the behind the scenes case study of how I scaled two different businesses to multiple six figures, north of 20K a month and just under 50K a month. Here's the architecture that we built for a client, the full breakdown, generating 37 grand deals on a weekly basis. Here's a screenshot of me handing off a $185,000 contract to a client, of which they collect that 40K. Here's a 33 grand deal in 1 week, 66 grand, worth of deals in 1 week. This is March, and the last one was April, 33 grand. Here's 15K worth of deals. This generated last month in July. Here's a client case study, interview, testimonial, whatever you want to call it. We generated them 40 grand in 14 days. That was, where is it? That was this deal right here. So that's the client testimonial. This is the behind the scenes of how I actually built it live from scratch. This is the actual architecture. So anyway, we can keep going. We can literally keep going. I add new deals. If you're downloading these documents, which I always recommend you do, you'll notice a pattern that there's always just another set of deals that keeps adding on. I add new deals to these documents pretty much on a weekly basis, and I still don't even show you the half of it because I actually run a business and client privacy matters. But point being, I wouldn't be talking if I wasn't actually doing it myself live on here, documenting every part, or I haven't done it 2 times over in 2 different businesses, which is how I'm able to do it so easily in 2 different businesses in 2 different industries. Anyway, so there are very few people in the world, point being, who are better at cold email than me, especially now that AI is here. There are very few people in the world who are better entrepreneurs than me. Watch my content, download these documents, apply them, and you will become one of the most lethal cold emailers on the planet and one of the most lethal entrepreneurs on the planet. Now, this is not about me. This is about you. So let's break down this $250,000, where this $250,000 comes from every single month, and how you can make yourself insanely valuable to large businesses insanely quickly and make stupid amounts of money. But first, if you don't know who I am, my name is Pablo Melando. I'm the founder of a B2B marketing agency called VintaScale that I'm scaling to 7 figures in real time. We currently generate over $250,000 a month in deal flow for our clients using AI and cold email. I'm making this video because my goal is very simple. It's to help you make money. Why? Why do I care to help you, someone I don't know, make money? Because, well, when you make more money, you'll trust me more. And when you hit that 30K a month, 30K a month threshold, you might become a client of mine, and you will make even more money. I'll help you make money, and then I will make money, and then we'll all be richer. So this is also a form of client acquisition as much as it is a form of branding. So I've done this twice now, again, like I said, with 2 different businesses, 20K a month and just under 50K a month. But of course, I don't expect you to just take my word for it. So I included the actual video. This is on my channel. I just posted it in here in this document for convenience. And that has a full case study breakdown. Anyway, and now I'm building, again, like I said, my marketing agency, VintaScale, in real time in front of you all, which I've been documenting pretty much since day one. I put out, if you haven't put 2 and 2 together, I put out no BS content. I would recommend you download this document. It's for free. Just click the link in the description. I have to email it to you, so expect my email. Don't mark me as spam. And then from there, I'm going to email you the secret sauce. And once you're done watching this, download this document and go through it to make sure you're applying it, because most people binge content but don't ever actually do anything. That's why they stay poor. And that's why I send you this document for free, just to prove my point. Anyway, I make no income claims. Results are not typical. So let's break down this 250K a month in deals. So for the idiots in the back, the slow pokes in the back, this does not mean we make 250K a month as an agency. Not yet. I'll let you know when. I promise. It'll happen quite soon. But we're not there yet. this is deals. This is deal flow. It's a term that you should learn if you don't know this already. A lot of deals, we bring in big deals, a lot of deals for our clients, and they pay us a lot of money for this work. But anyway, so first off, it would be impossible, excuse me, to bring in this much deal flow for a client if they were only selling $500 stuff. This is why I've made a video a few videos ago saying stop working with broke clients. Here's how to stop attracting broke clients. So you need to know that my clients typically bill $10,000 and up for whatever this stuff is. So think marketing. It's not that uncommon, to be quite honest. So think marketing agencies, staffing agencies, and not broke marketing agencies. Like think real marketing agencies, staffing agencies, manufacturing firms, SaaS firms, things like firms like fintech, high level strategic consultants, SaaS firms that sell enterprise solutions. So not like your $99 school payment, but like, I don't know, like imagine like I don't know, like a Microsoft Office. I don't my Microsoft is not my client, but just for an example, they sell like enterprise solutions, so software for an entire company, right? They'll sell Walmart all the Microsoft Office licenses, so they're collecting a high bill, stuff like that, right? Anyway, so point being, my clients typically bill 10K and up. So if I get them one client or one deal, this adds up pretty quickly, right? So for example, here's a screenshot again. I posted this earlier in the document. Here's a screenshot of a $40,000 deal. It's technically $37,000, but I'm just rounding up. That came in a few weeks ago. This is me updating my client in our Slack channel. My client's a staffing agency. So you can zoom in on your own time when you get this document. But if you look at the bottom of that screenshot, it says 125 to $185,000 a year. So what does that even mean? So if you look at the bottom of the screenshot again, it's a deal to place a candidate. So this is a staffing firm. They place candidates, right? That's their product. That's their service. They go and find people who are suitable for an open position. So my client gets paid a 20% fee of the candidate's first year's salary that they find, right? So the salary is $185,000. I use the max because my client is always going to go for the max. They're always going to find the best candidate to maximize that deal. It's just how it goes, right? And my client closes at they have an insanely high close rate. But anyway, so 20% of $185,000 is how much, genius? It's $37,000, right? So we get multiple deals like this every single week for this client. Why? How? Because if you haven't watched any of my other videos, we run multiple cold email campaigns. Right. So sometimes when I post these screenshots of, 70K deals, 15K deals, like some of these are multiple deals added together, right? Like look at this, right? This is for, I broke this down in a different video, but 33 grand worth of deals. This isn't one deal here. This is 11 3K deals. 11 3K deals, right? So sometimes it's not always the big, 28K deal, right? Sometimes it's not always the big, like 40 grand deal. Sometimes it's little deals stacked on top of each other. But anyway, so we get multiple deals like this every week. So the same thing for manufacturing firms who sell in bulk, right? Same thing for with an executive staffing firm who might pay us a 10% rev share for all deals we bring them above 200K. Right? And if you don't believe me, if you think I'm just talking, here's an actual screenshot. I'll let you zoom in when you download this document of a deal we were working out just last month in July with an executive staffing firm, meaning they find and place CEOs. They staff executive folks. We didn't end up taking this client, but I may upload this client call in the future if I do sales trainings or if I have a course or something. I don't have any of that at this moment in time. None of my money comes from a course, again, at this moment in time or anything like that. All my money comes from my agency. But anyway. So let me, this is going to be annoying. So I'll let you zoom in on your own time. Cause this is kind of hard to read, but client was like, or prospect was like, hey, I'm thinking of a let me just read it out to you. Hi, Pablo, rev share model sounds interesting as it could provide a strong incentive for both our companies. I'm thinking of a 5% commission for successful leads, blah, 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 under 200K. So 5% for any deals closed under 200K, 10% for any deals closed over 200K. That's all you really need to know, right? So 10% of 200K is how much? 20K. So I'd be getting 20K every time they close a roll over 200K. A 200K roll in 2025 is very common. Especially if we're talking about deals in San Francisco or New York or whatever it is. So that's director level and up. Like that's very common. That's one client. And we can run tens of email campaigns at the same time for any one client. Now imagine multiple clients, and it takes less than an hour to spin up a campaign for each client, especially when you copy the workflows that I give to you for free. Like, right? So where was I? So yeah, so deals like that make you rich, quick. all with cold email. It's literally the same kind of thinking. Again, go watch this video. It's the same kind of thinking that allowed me to go from literally making $0 because I had been scammed. This was in November 2023. December 2023, I made over $10,000, and then January 2023, I made over $45,000. Like it happens that fast if you just know how to get deals and how to put yourself out there. And that's what I'm showing you. So download these documents. They are free. I'll send you a few emails, but all this stuff will make you more money. So do you see how this becomes a lot more conceivable? And how 250K a month, $250,000 a month in deals starts to seem like a literal drop in the bucket. So we will probably double this number in the next quarter to $500,000 in deals, in deal flow. These are there are deal gen agencies way bigger than mine that are bringing in $1 million in deals a day. So imagine how much they're collecting in fees, right? So this all depends on, so your ability to generate deals and breaking down this 250K a month, like this all depends on three things. Number one, who your clients are, particularly the size of the company. Right? So the size of the company. So when you download my cold email money printer blueprint, one of the things it talks about, you can't see this because you got to zoom in, but the link is in the description, is targeting companies that are the right company size based on where you are at in your level of social proof, right? So who your clients are, the size of the company. We go for clients typically who have at least 10 or more employees. Number two, how much they bill, how much these clients bill, right? So how big are the deals? Do they sell like $200 little Tamagotchi fidget spinners, right? Or do they sell like 40 grand things, right? So this is more important than how many deals they get. So ecom, if you're working with the ecom company, they might sell like 100 tea kettles an hour. The deal size in deal generation is a lot more important. So this is more important than frequency, meaning if you can land private equity firms who buy literal businesses for tens of millions of dollars, do it. I don't have any private equity firm clients as of right now, but if you can do that, do it. Now, and number three, do their clients actually use email to communicate? So we're not talking about restaurants. We're not talking about defense companies or the government. We're not talking about, Instagram coaches or influencers. So it depends on these three things. These are the three things I want you to keep in mind: who your clients are, how much they bill, do their clients use email to communicate. If you take this and you go over everything I said leading up to this part in this video and all my other videos, you will realize the pattern in all the clients I take on. And trust me, I reject more clients than I take on, because I only take on clients who I'm 100% sure I can get results for, or at least like 99.7% sure. So all of my companies, all of my clients are of a certain size. They all bill a certain amount, and they all use email to communicate, right? So I could end this video right here. This is literally all you need to know. But if I'm going to make you a killer marketer, then we have to go even further. So let's continue. So here's a shift. The mental shift that needs to happen for you to start hitting these numbers comes from one real place. Stop thinking about the value you bring in terms of the number of meetings. And this is where these kids got it all messed up, especially when the lead gen thing happened. They're like, oh yeah, let me get you 5 meetings a month. I should post sales calls of me using that pitch, and I'll show you like how much I bombed. Because the client, like the prospects would have, they just came off the call with another agency, some mega lead gen agency, who was getting them like, I don't know, 5 meetings a day or 5 meetings a week, for example. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get you 5 meetings a month, or I'll get you 3 meetings a month, right? So stop thinking about the value you bring in terms of the number of meetings, and start thinking about it in terms of the amount of deal flow you bring. And this is where everything shifted. And this is when I become way more confident in what I do. So what is 5 meetings? 5 meetings a month, right? It literally only sounds like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count that on your hand. 5 sounds small in any context or any occasion, unless we were talking about NBA championships or Super Bowl wins or billions of dollars, or anything that's really difficult to obtain. Nowadays, even $5 million sounds small. But deal flow, right? How much is each of those meetings worth to your client? Especially if they close. So my clients, again, my high target, high value clients, they close at 40% plus. So if I bring them 100K worth of deals, do the math on how much money I am putting in their pocket. And this is how I position myself to be so insanely valuable so quickly and to place insane value on the work that I do. It also helps that I'm one of the best cold emailers on the planet. So now you know how to think. So now what do you actually do? What are the actual practical steps, Pablo? Because I binge your content and now I need instruction on how to do everything. Okay, well here it is. So here are my words. And I wrote hear my words and not heed my words because I like the way this sounds better. You'll notice in my documents, I do not care about typos or punctuation. And sometimes I just leave it like that on purpose. But anyway, that's besides the point. I digress. Hear my words. 99% of people do not get results with cold email. Not because their emails aren't good or their targeting isn't good enough or they're not using the right ChatGPT module, but because they do not send enough cold emails, period. In your first 6 months of sending cold emails, 99% of your problems can and will be attributed to this. I guarantee you, I'll send you $1 million if I'm incorrect. The benchmark, no, I won't. But anyway, you get my point. The benchmark is 1,000 emails per day. Nothing less. Anything less, and I do not want to hear you complaining. Why? Why am I so stern about this? It's because I tracked. I have calendars like this, right? You see how I literally print this says August 2025. Okay, so the one for July, it's in my files over there. But every day, every Monday to Friday, every sending day, I would write down the number of emails I would send. And Smartly tracks this for you, but I kind of like doing things on paper still. I'm old school like that. And anytime I had a dip in revenue, anytime I had a dip in meetings for that week, I can literally attribute it to not having sent enough emails that day. Anytime I didn't get my client result, it was because for some reason, whatever reason, I made it so that I didn't send enough emails at some point in time in that day or in that week. So every time I ever had a dip in revenue, again, in my agency or in my previous 2 businesses, it was because I wasn't doing enough volume. If you understand this, then you should understand that everything you do in and around your campaigns should be about sending as many cold emails per day, bolding that. Don't worry about the negative replies or landing in spam. Just keep sending. You know how many people threaten to they're like, oh yeah, I blocked you and reported you spam and whatever it is. I'm just trying to hustle just like you. I'm trying to hustle just like you. And I brush it off and keep going. But anyway, AI tools like Clay, you should get really good at Clay. I show you how on my channel. Just literally copy my workflows. AI tools like Clay make it ridiculously easy to pump out emails. Do not use make.com. I put out a whole tweet about this. Don't use make.com. There's literally no excuse to be broke. AI cold email is the closest thing to a money printer we have ever seen in our lifetimes. I should bold this and I should highlight it so that you understand how important this is. Take advantage of it. Anyway, takeaway. $250,000 a month in deals gets broken down into 40K deals, 15K deals, 66K worth of deals, 33K worth of deals, so on and so forth. But it's all rooted in the fact that we go after clients that, number one, are already doing well. So we're not saving broke companies, we're scaling them. Number two, they bill high. So they have really expensive stuff. They charge really high fees. Number three, they interact with their clients via email. So all we do is we just come in and scale their outbound. We do more of it. We do more of what they're already doing. It's like if the company does sales calls to get their clients, well, we would come in with some like auto dialer and we'd crank up their volume so they're making 10 times more sales calls. You don't think they're going to make more money? It's just natural. So we have the tools, infrastructure in place to just send way more cold emails that are really well done and really well professionally written and clear, concise, and to the point. I hope this breaks it down for you and makes it real for you. And like, I don't know how much realer or more, transparent it can get, anyway. So my offer is if you're in a B2B business above 20K a month, we'll build you a custom cold email deal generation machine. We'll run it with you for 90 days. So you get meetings with exact fit high ticket buyers. You retain full ownership of the entire system so you can run it yourself forever. It's the same system we use to generate over $250,000 in pipeline every single month for our clients. Pay one time, no recurring fees or monthly contracts. Link in my bio, link in the description, to go to my website and book a consultation with myself. If you're below 20K a month, but you have budget, we can discuss setting it up for you. Just don't waste my time. Make sure you have budget. And then the link to this document, plus this pipeline architecture, this cold email money printer, is in the description below. It's free. Just put in $0. in Gumroad. Put in your email address. I'll send this to you, and then just expect me to reach out via email, because I send the secret sauce to all my folks via email a few times a week. But anyway, don't get mad. It'll make you richer. So link to this document and link to the cold email money printer blueprint is in the description. It'll get you 10 plus high ticket meetings a month. Just literally follow everything and check off every box. All right. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.